Cool. Right, I believe we are live. Hello everybody and welcome to round number 14 of SRL F1, and today we are in Singapore for this evening's race where the skyline meets a tight, twisty F1 track, and hopefully we have a good race this evening. It's going to be a long one, so hopefully you're ready, all strapped in. And this evening I'm joined by not VRT Ringers but VRT Rudsters tonight. How are you doing, pal?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm heavily excited for what should be a fantastic race here in Singapore, and I'm really looking forward to just getting this one underway. Yeah,
likewise. It should hopefully be a good one. Hopefully we don't see too many retirements this evening. We've got a good haul of drivers in tonight, 14 drivers. Do we have... Yeah, Danny, the championship leader, is in tonight. Doesn't look... Sorry, Jason. My bad. Jason is in the race tonight. Danny doesn't seem to be there after his heroics in Monza last week, coming from the back. He can't make it this evening. Another change is Langman isn't here either, and Gorsh Crab is replacing him in the Renault, so a heads up for those who are watching. But looking at Singapore Roadsters, do you have much experience from racing around here in any leagues at all?
I've a lot of bad experiences racing around this track. Crashed up the lead a few times, especially at the end of the Anderson Bridge.
Yes.
And the end of Sector 2, I think, two difficult areas of the track, and I think we might see a lot of drivers being caught out on multiple areas of the track tonight. How about yourself?
I think I've done one league race round here, and I think I finished 9th. So I finished in the points, but that was a long time ago, and I think my abilities have gone downhill since then. So I can't say I'd finish this race if I did it today. But as many as we can for evening. It's going to be a difficult one. Just on board with V6 Racing. Let's see his telemetry from there. Oh, no, there we go. So he's the first man out on the Ultra Softs this evening. The current lap record around here on time trial on this game is a 1:35.7. I don't think we'll hit those sort of times today. That is actually 6/10 quicker than the guy in second, which is ESR Simon. Who is not racing in SRL, but
wow.
he is in UCL, if those who are watching knew that. But yeah, I don't think we'll see those sort of times, but if it stays dry, we should see some pretty quick times around here, Rodsters.
Yeah, V6 absolutely lighting up the rear end coming out of a lot of these corners. I doubt that would be a very sustainable strategy for him due to some of the quite low traction zones you'll get at this track. But it'll be interesting to see whether he'll be able to go fast.
Yeah, I believe he's the first man on. It looks like as he comes through. The last sector, I believe, is 23 corners here in Singapore. So it's trying. Hopefully, we can stay on board and be up to date as he comes towards the second bridge with the lovely. I don't know what you call it. It's not the London. It's Singapore Eye. Can I call it that? I think it must be called something like that. Singapore Eye. Yeah. As he comes towards the final bend, this lovely sweeping left-hander double entry, and he comes across the line with a 1:40.6. So we'll see. Okay, it's not the best of laps because Jason's gone over 2 seconds quicker as V6 has cut that corner. But Jason, of course, is the fastest man in the league at the moment, currently in first in the standings with, where are we? With 252 points. That's over 100 points ahead of feisty Ted. Do we have Ted racing today? We do Ted.
Half a second quicker than Jason.
Oh, Ted in the Toro Rosso. Pretty quick lap so far. So he's still got enough time, Roger, to catch Jason, but he's going to have to, to catch him in the championship, he's going to have to put his, that's I'm trying to think of a real life example. Someone's come back from that far down.
Vettel 2012 maybe.
True, yeah, Vettel 2012. I think was it Lauder and what's his name?
Lauder and Hunt.
Yes, yeah.
What was that then?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, before we both were born. So yeah, long time ago. My only recollection of that is actually the film Rush.
Yeah,
which is a
Rush.
good one.
Fantastic
Great film.
film.
Yeah. So who have we got? We've still got 5 drivers left to do a lap here in Singapore with 6:24. Most likely these guys will come in, put a new set of tyres on, and we'll see them come out once again off, which is the here in Singapore. But with 6 minutes 8 seconds left, Roadsters, who are you fancying for pole today?
Well, I think Feisty Ted obviously is looking very good at the minute. Maybe half a second ahead of the others. Yeah, you've obviously got to include people like RBZ, Jason as well. Potentially OMG's Joe could have a good qualification if he could get a lap together, but as it stands, he doesn't even set a lap. And I think maybe Maranzano and Melanie could be up there as well, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, that is ECR Matty in the wall. Yeah, no, all those guys, there's plenty of scope for who to get pole because this grid is pretty close. But it's a difficult one. I think it's difficult not to go with Jason with his current championship standing. But I'm gonna go. I think he's 5/10 quicker than RBZ and Jason, so I think I'm gonna go with go with Ted for pole today. Those who are in the chat, can you just double check our audio? We didn't check if it sounded okay. Can you just let us know in the chat? That would be super, and let us also know who you are fancying for the pole and also the podium, which I'm sure we'll discuss later on as the race continues. But 4:42 left, and still plenty of time for these guys to get some more laps in.
Yeah, this is the really boring bit of qualifying session where no one's out on the lap because everyone's coming to change their tyres.
Yeah. Everyone's everyone's doing the 1 and then a second lap.
In fact,
Do you want to take go on?
I think Hardly is that.
Yep, I was on board with him now.
Yeah, so looking fairly neat and tidy actually. It'd be interesting to see how we can go slight lock up into the chicane there. He comes down beneath the grandstand. I'd love to sit in that grandstand one day. I think it'd be fantastic.
Definitely.
Experience. He's so close to them as he comes towards the last 2 sweeping corners now. Not looking like the quickest of lap times, but at least it will be a lap time as he goes invalidated.
All that build up and it was invalid.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Who else have we got? Let's try and get on board. Who else hasn't done? So Maranzano's yet to do a lap. Okay, it's clearly a bad lap because it's 5 minutes and 5 seconds currently as he comes towards the end of the sector. So he will be doing another lap, I am sure. Harley, which is a bit of a tongue, is still going round. V6 is just about to start his second lap.
I think Ted might be on one as well.
Okay, let's get on board with Ted. Ted looks like he's on an out lap because it's 2 minutes 13 currently. So we'll keep an eye on that. So he has enough time for 2 more runs. So still plenty of time for Ted. Jason also out. And then Melanie, Smithson, JP, Antsmaz and Matty are all coming out for their laps. There's 2 Matties. There's Matty Bolton and ECR Matty. So we'll make sure we distinguish between the 2 of them in the race. We won't get confused. Well, we'll try our best. 2:15 to go. So still a lot of time left, really, here in Singapore. Do you want to take a guess, Roasters, who's got the fastest lap in real life in Singapore?
I would say it'd be done this year, but it wouldn't because it was raining for the whole race, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
So, oh god, it's going to be someone weird. I'm just going to guess Sebastian Vettel by virtue of the fact that Red Bull was so dominant.
You're in the right car, but it was 2016 and it was Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh no.
Yeah, with a 1:47.1, which is miles off what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
But, that's a totally different era. Yeah. But who else? As we get back to the action. So you're aboard Maranzano. He comes round the penultimate bend and around the final bend. Make sure it doesn't go wide, touches the curb, and he comes across the line to go 6th. So he will definitely do another lap, it looks like, on those ultras. Whereas Ted and Jason, let's keep an eye on those guys because they'll be the guys to keep an eye on. Ted comes round the final 2 corners. Where is Ted going to pop up? Currently on pole, and he goes quicker by 2/10 with a 37.3 there.
Racing actually, unbeknownst to us, went into 2nd place, I believe.
Ah, yes, he has.
Really good lap from him actually. Only half second off Icy Ted and quicker than RPZ and Jason.
Yeah, did not see V6 getting up there. Who else have we got? RBZ, the man who was super quick on 2016, has struggled a little bit on F1 2017. He comes across the line. He stays 3rd. Still got enough time for one more lap.
I think that was an out lap from.
Oh, that was an out lap. Okay. Oh, Jason, I think it was another out lap with a 1:48. So he's still got enough time. Who else? Is anyone else going to make the line? Smithson's going to make the line as well. I think that is it. Everyone else, the checker flag has come out, so this is the last lap for everybody. There we go. Gorsh Crab is the first man to start. He will start 8th with a 1:38.9. A little bit off the lead there, but a reserve, replacing Langman. Anyone else coming towards the line? Oh, it's Maranzano just popped up.
No, I'm currently on board with RPZ. He's currently in mid-sector.
Okay.
Maranzano's actually just gone into 4th.
Okay, good job from Maranzano there in the Toro Rosso. Will Ted, his teammate, equal him? Comes round the final bend. How will Toro Rosso do this evening? Ted wow. 1:36.9. Ted is on a mission tonight. Jeez, a great result for Toro Rosso currently. 1st and 4th. What else we got near the end? Jason's further back. RBZ is coming under the tunnel. Okay, we'll keep on board with the Williams driver. He comes underneath the tunnel. I would love to say the corner names, but there aren't many here. It's more corner 1, corner 2. So it's not Silverstone or Monza where we can name all the corners. Oh, a big corner cut from RBZ there. Will that be valid? It is valid. Okay, 1:38 flat. Did you see that corner cut by RBZ? It seemed
no, it was invalidated. He went half a second quicker, but.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
Jason's got into 2nd.
6/10 off though. Wow, Ted.
Yeah,
wow. Okay, that's untouchable. That's ridiculous. Wow. Oh, I think I was right with my prediction then. So Ted for pole by 6/10 there over Jason. V6 Racing in 3rd, RBZ 4th, ESR Smithson in 5th, Maranzano 6th, Melanie in 7th, Matty Bolton in 8th, Gorge Crab 9th, JP in 10th, Ant Smaz in 11th, ECR Matty in 12th, Hardy Harley without a lap in 13th, oh my god, Joe with another without a lap as well in 14th, and that rounds off the drivers there. So hopefully, if Ted can prove he can do something like that, I'd like to see him do it in the race. It's been a while since he's won a race in SRL, so good luck to him. But you know, the race is totally different to qualifying, isn't it?
I think hopefully he's not too far ahead, but I would like to see a really good battle up front between Ted and Jason in this race.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, overtaking opportunities here in Singapore are limited, but we do have 2 DRS zones, so hopefully we can see some overtaking tonight. It's pretty much Monaco, but with a bit more room to make mistakes and a bit longer, really. But hopefully it won't be as dull as Monaco. To be fair, actually, SRL in Monaco was quite good. It was a pretty good race. But you know, we'll see. It looks like it's nice and dry here, the night sky, with you can see the reflection of all the skies here. We do have formation lap on, so we have a lap to just talk before we get started, unless it's got turned off last minute. No, it hasn't. Good job. Hopefully, I was waiting for it to be just to go and lights out and away we go. But luckily, see, hopefully, with those of you already strapped in for a long haul tonight, it's already 7:25, so yeah, it's going to be a long night, Rodsters.
Have you got your popcorn whatever drink you want.
I've just got a beer. I thought beer was probably the best option tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good shout.
I was tempted for a whiskey, but I couldn't. I ran out, so beer will have to do for this evening.
Oh god.
Yeah, but as we're doing formation lap, Rudsters, should we do some predictions for this evening's Grand Prix? Who are you fancying for first, second, and third?
So I think, but virtue of the fact of just how strong he's been this season, I think Jason could probably steal the win. Closely followed by Ted in second place, and I think maybe RBZ for third place.
Okay.
After that was nothing another day. How about yourself?
I think I have to stick with Ted after that blistering quality. It's difficult not to go with Ted, and then I'm going to go Jason second. I'm going to put Maranzano on third, purely because every time I commentate, or almost every time, Maranzano is somehow on the podium, and he's always, well, he's once he's won when I was commentating, but he seems to be always on the podium. So I'm going to go with Maranzano on third, just by the virtue he's always there when I commentate. But you know, there's plenty of guys who can get, you know, Maloney, Smithson, RBZ, V6 Racing. You know, Joe we got to look out for starting at the back. So there's still plenty of guys who can get up there here in Singapore.
It's really interesting to see actually what tyres Joe's on. He's on the Ultra Softs. I thought maybe he would aim for a longer first stint, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Get the tyre data up so we can see that. Ooh, there we go. Tyres Ultra Softs apart from Matthews on these supers. Okay, so everybody seems to form up. Thank you guys for your predictions. People are similar to Ted and Jason. Bolsey's gone exactly the same as you actually, with Ted, Jason, RBZ. And then we got John, who's gone for Ted,
Smart
Jason,
man.
And V6. Smart man. Yeah. So no one back in Maranzano then, just me. So here we go then, guys. It is race time. The lights coming on. That is 3, 4 red lights here in Singapore. And away we go. Everybody seems to get a good start. RBZ looks like gets a good start as well. And Ted leads going into turn 1 and 2. Jason's dropped back slightly, actually. V6 is under pressure from RBZ as they start the lap. A bit of movement towards the back of the grid, but everybody seems nice and clean so far. RBZ has a little bit of a train behind. Oh, and that's V6 off. Oh, no. Oh, the cars are going everywhere here. Oh, no. That's V6.
Oh, no.
Who's in that pile-up? That's V6.
Matty Bolton, I think.
Oh no, both the red. That damage to all of them as well. Rudsters, or can you not see?
I think Gorsh and Bolton have got out of it unscathed.
Okay.
But V6 has obviously got quite a heavy amount of damage to the front wing.
Oh dear. No, bit of a messy start here in Singapore. We were not surprised really. We were expecting something like that, but Ted, Jason, RBZ is the top 3 currently. V6 has dropped back. If you missed it, if you're only now joining us,
Been quite a large incident at the Emerson Bridge between Antsmas and Harley. Harley's got again quite a large amount of damage to the front wing and is letting Gorsh crap through. So
oh dear.
really good there from Sauber.
Oh dear, not ideal start for the Sauber, but I guess there's still plenty of laps for him to catch up, so we'll keep an eye on that. Who else is near? Joe. Joe's had a great start. He's gained 6 places off the start, right on the back of JP as they finish back end, stepping out. There's yellow flag in sector 3. That looks like it's no! JP round the final bend. The McLaren is off. We've had an absolute mess of a start here, Rudsters. It's been crazy as that's Gorsh and Antsmaz racing together, and that's Gorsh up the inside of Antsmaz, the Italian losing a place there to Gorsh. But it's been an absolute hectic start here.
Yeah, I think that's a real killer for JP as well, because he's not got to do an entire lap without a complete front wing.
Oh no.
Horrible timing for him.
Probably one of the worst tracks to do a whole lap without front wing as well, due to the downforce needed. Oh dear, not good for JP there, but back up with the lead. Matty's also binned it round. Oh, it just sent me away, but it looked like he binned it around the penultimate corner. V6 gets a 5-second stop and go for speeding in the pit lane, but Ted already has a second lead as he comes over the bridge. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that for? Oh, the Ant Maz has spun here. Matty Bolton is ghosting, it looks like. He may have paused or left the session. I'm not 100% on that. Who else have we got? Anybody close on your screen? Looks like Smithson's close to the back of RBZ as he comes
yeah, I think
through
that's
the
probably
final.
the best on-track battle at the minute.
Yeah, I'm expecting everybody sort of spread out a little bit as the race goes on, just because of the nature of the track. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That. Oh, that's JP. JP's having an absolute nightmare. Doing a whole lap without front wing. Is just not played into his hand. Down to 10th place now. Antsmaz has also got him. Antsmaz has got half a front wing, I believe, as a struggle. Yes, that Smithson's losing a bit of time to RBZ as well as the lap goes on.
Yeah, but I say who's gaining time is Melanie in the back of Maranzano. He's gained a couple of tenths over the last laps, so that might be one.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on. Of course, is an out. Will we see a move from Melanie? A little bit too far back at the moment for us to get anywhere. For him to get anywhere. At the moment, still in P6. Let's look at the position jump here in at the moment, position change. So Joe is the winner from the start, really. Rodster's getting 7 positions off the start. V6 Racing has left the session. Gave up, but yeah, Joe seems to be winning at the moment. Oh, he's very wide there. He shouldn't have said anything. Commentator's curse as he comes through the just before the bridge. But yeah, everyone else just gaining a couple of positions. But Joe seems to be on a mad one.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good fortune. People in front of him tangling up and very skillful as well, avoiding all the incidents ahead of him and keeping his car in one piece.
Yeah, Joe, he did well last week in. Joe won in last week. Joe won. Joe has.
Underneath the, go underneath the grandstand, but he doesn't look like he's got any damage.
Lucky seems to be on his side today then. Antsmaz is retired as well. Where's that? Oh, he's retired. That is start of sector 3. It looks like. Yeah, I think without the downforce on that Ferrari, he's just binned it. Oh dear, down to 11 drivers already, Rodgers on. I've only done 4 laps. Jeez.
It'll be a race of attrition, this one.
Yeah, definitely. So, Jason, that gap has stayed pretty consistent so far. Jason not losing too much time to Ted. It may be a case of working his magic in the pit stop to gain a place on Ted.
Yeah.
Smithson, not too far back off RBZ, gaining time again. The Mercedes driver, or otherwise known as Ollie Bob, previously. That's Melanie getting a penalty as well.
Yeah,
oh, but Melanie's binned it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. Luckily he goes then. Marty Bolton almost went straight through him. Oh, that gave me a bit of a heart attack there. But yeah, Melanie out. Where is he? Where is that? That's before. That's where the bump used to be before they removed it. That is just before the bridge, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's the one. So he's binned it at turn 10. It looks like. Oh dear. Melanie out of the race, unfortunately. But so 10 drivers, and we've only done 4 laps. Rodsters, this is might as well call it the
fantastic.
Destruction Derby. It's been mad. So, what else we got? I think the key battle really to stay on board with is Smithson and RBZ. Maranzano is luckily, he was under quite a bit of pressure from Melanie, but now that's spaced out, so he'll be pretty happy. But Joe is on a mission, and he's ever so slight on Maranzano, so keep that eye on that gap. Yeah, this gap, this race is going to be looking at a lot of gaps, I think, Rodsters. With the nature of the track.
I think people are going to be quite cautious on the tyres as well. I think this race might be a 2-stop, but some may look to try a 1-stop.
Yeah, from my understanding, it's
soft.
Yeah, ultra soft to soft, or ultra soft, super soft. So it's up to those guys. Apologies for if there's any lag on the chat. I've had some internet issues recently, guys, so I do apologise if there's a little bit of lag. here on the stream, but hopefully we get all the good action. But Smithson's been as close as he has been so far. It is down to half a second. It looks a bit closer on my screen. So he has could move through the DRS zones on, well, it'll be lap number 6 once we get there. Still 10 drivers left, so everybody, as long as you finish now, you get points, Roses. So, you know, you could drive at a snail's pace and still get points.
Good position to be in.
Right, will we see a move from Smithson? This is the key battle. It's now 4 tenths. Not the best exit for Smithson as they come through turn 1, 2 and 3, but he will have a second chance. RBZ gets a penalty. Penalties will come into play at the end, so we'll keep an eye on those. But Jason still keeping up with Ted, actually. He's closed the gap. It's gone down by 2 tenths. It was 1.5, now 1.3, back up to 1.4. But here we go. Will Smithson make a move as they come round this sort of straight? Just a big bend in it, so I can't call it a straight. Yellow flag in sector 1. That looks like Matty Bolton has made a mistake. Trying to keep an eye on this Smithson battle, really. But he seems to be doing a type Mercedes.
Yeah, that would be doing his rear tyres any favours. And he may be one of the drivers looking at a 2-stop because with the dirty air from RBZ Williams and the excessive oversteer in his car, it's not looking good for his tyres. Yeah,
definitely. It could be on for a 2-stop Smithson, but we'll keep an eye on that. Still plenty of laps to go. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I haven't seen too many overtaken since the first lap crash fest here in Singapore. But Smithson is right on the back of RBZ, not really gaining anything. He could be potentially struggling from dirty air rotors, as you said, so maybe potentially dropping back a little bit and just maybe doing something in the pit stops for Smithson.
Yeah, I think if I was Smithson, I'd definitely look towards the undercut because RBZ isn't looking too quick. He's dropped the other laps, so he could also as well maybe struggling with tyres.
Yeah. Oh, geez. He's taking it. I'm impressed. I'm impressed he can actually do that in an F1 car. How he's managed to do that, I don't know. But Joe seems to have dropped back off Maranzano. It was about 5 seconds, now 11 seconds. So I think Joe made a mistake at some point as we try and stay on board with the action here in Singapore. So Joe now, actually, Gorsh is right on the back of Joe as they come down the second DRS straight. Gorsh within a tenth now. Will he looks to the inside line? Will he be able to get him on the brakes? He does, very close, and that's a good move from Gorsh. Joe tries it back around the outside as they come towards the next turn. Gorsh has the inside line, and looks like Gorsh has made the move stick there, and that is Gorsh Crab up to 6th place.
Yeah, I think one thing that could explain Joe's lack of pace was when he hit the wall on about lap 3. It didn't look like he got any damage, but he could have very well picked up a knock on the front wing, which obviously won't be doing him any favours. Yeah,
he could have that issue where it's slightly dark green, but it's very difficult to tell, and we can't tell here on broadcast cam, and they can tell on in-game, so we may have to chat to Joe afterwards. But that is Gorsh up to 6th place now. Smithson still struggling. I think that dirty air is really affecting him here in Singapore. So maybe, like you said, Russ, the undercut was probably the best option for Smithson. But Jason, actually, he's just tapping away at Ted, and it's now 1.1. It was within almost a second there, so we could see Jason catching up very rapidly with Ted very soon.
Yeah, I think this has been a case of good gap management for Jason. I think he may have played it a little bit safely on the first few laps, not to take too much out of his tyres, but he seems to have the edge in a minute.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's good gap management. I think he's back far enough to not be affected by that dirty air, and maybe when pits come into play, overcut or undercut could potentially work for Jason, could pressure Ted into a pit stop. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is
Maranzano.
Oh dear, Maranzano. Is that damage to the front wing? He's okay. Okay, he's not. Doesn't seem to be any damage. but that will allow Gorsh to gain time on him. Now, actually, Jason within a second now, Rudster, so potentially we could see a move for the lead.
7/10. It's quite a sharp decline. I think Ted's really struggling with his tyres by the looks of things. His rear end's all over the place. I'm on board with Jason now.
Yeah, Ted looks like he's struggling a little bit. He's allowed Jason to catch up pretty quickly over the last 2 or 3 laps. Will we see a pit stop from Ted? Stays on the line there. And yeah, I got to agree with you, John Sal. I thought Ted was going to run away with it as well, but it doesn't look like he has. Jason is keeping up with him at the moment. He got more yellow flags. That is Gorsh. He's binned it. Oh, I knew someone was going to bin it in the under the bridge, and someone has. Gorsh has.
The race.
I did. So Gorsh, does he have damage to that front wing? He does on the left side. He looks like he's missing an end plate. So into the pits, I think, for Gorsh. No, he's going to stay out. Okay, that's an interesting one. Maybe it doesn't feel that bad, but we don't really know. Unfortunately, we can't speak to the drivers here in the commentary box. But we got a tasty battle actually. You got 3rd and 4th, and 1st and 2nd battling away. So we should hopefully see some moves. But of course, Singapore is very difficult to overtake, Rudsters. So maybe we'll be within DRS like we saw with Gorsh on Joe earlier on.
Yeah, she get moves done in the pit lane, which I think will be a good consideration of 2nd place Jason and 4th place Smithson. There's yellow flags. Joe is round.
Oh dear. Well, he's still gained quite a bit from the start. So Joe, even though he's spinning, he's still a good race for him so far. Starting in P14 and gaining 7 places off the start there. Damage that front wing. No, it still seems okay for Joe. Oh, Gorsh has binned it though, but still manages to make the corner somehow. Oh no, Gorsh.
Lost the exit.
Oh, he just drove into the wall. There's no front wing left. Oh dear. Alright, Gorsh, I definitely think you should come into the pits this time round for a new front wing. As RBZ as in the pits. So,
his tyres are absolutely mangled.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't look nice. It looks like the one stop. Actually, I'm going to check the telemetry because it's never right on the pit stop. Yeah. Right, tyres. So he's on the soft. So he looks like he's doing a one stop for RBZ. Okay, so will Smithson come in to the pits? Will he do the overcut? Will it work? That is, let's see what we can do. Joe's off again. And that's a lot of damage to that front wing now. Joe, he's had a nightmare the last 2 or 3 laps. He's coming in the pits now. So Joe into the pits, and it looks like most likely come onto the softs, but may try the 2-stop, but we'll keep an eye on that. Gorsh also in the pits. Looks like he's on the softs as well. And the ultra softs are absolutely wrecked here in Singapore. But
yeah, if you look at Smithson's aren't in the best of conditions. As is Ted's. Jason's compared to everyone else look quite, I wouldn't say nice, but better than others.
Yeah, Ted, very. Those with a keen eye, you can see the tyres. But will Ted or Jason come in? RBZ came in on the previous lap, the man in 3rd place. Will either of them come in? Jason, he's trying the undercut. Will this work? We'll keep an eye on that gap. But will Smithson also come in? Smithson is also coming in, so he's going to try the overcut on RBZ. So let's keep an eye on RBZ where he pops out. He's just coming towards the end of Sector 3. Let's get back on broadcast cam. And that is the gap to keep an eye on. Marzano stays out for another lap. Jason is out of his pit box.
I think Smith's had a penalty.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they're coming out of the pit. The actual garages rather than the pit boxes. Oh dear. GG F1 2017. Yeah. But RBZ has made the undercut work like a treat. He is miles ahead of Smithson. It looks like, it's 8 seconds. Jeez. RBZ has made that work perfectly.
One thing to that is Jason's on the super soft tyres.
Okay.
So I don't think he'll be able to run to the end. on those. He could very well do it. He's gone for a slightly more aggressive choice of strategy there.
Yeah, if you get some clean air, we could see that work. We'll keep an eye on Ted to see what he does. If he wants to stay, from what I've seen of Ted over the season, he usually goes for the harder compound and stays out for a long time. Does not a man usually for a two-stop. But you know, we'll keep an eye on that as he comes. He's drifting around these corners, really struggling for grip. Ted in that Toro Rosso, but I think he's got to come in now. That must be a warning for a corner cut. Is he staying? Oh, almost misses in the pits there. What's Ted going to do? We'll see where Jason pops out.
I'll keep an eye on Jason.
Okay, I'll stay with Ted. I think he's doing the same strategy actually, Rod. I think he's gone on to the supers as well. Yep, he is on.
This could bring RBZ into play. On the end of the race, but Jason now through onto the pitch straight. He's done it. Out ahead of Feisty Ted.
Jason has made the undercut work like a treat, and
RBZ.
RBZ has got past as well. Wow. Ted has lost a load of time there with that, trying to do the overcut on Jason. Gee, he must have been going so slow on that, this last lap before he pitted. So if Ted's going to get anywhere, he's going to have to get past RBZ quickly. Otherwise, he's going to drop back on Jason.
Yeah, it'd be messy here, I think. RBZ definitely going to be going to the end. Ted may even have to stop again. So this is really not worked out well for him.
No, it hasn't. Ted, he must have made a lot of mistakes on that final lap before pitting, because he's dropped back a long way. It's that's almost 4 seconds behind Jason at the moment. We're both on the same strategy. So we'll keep an eye on that. RBZ still holding second. Smithson a bit further back. He's also doing the one stop. Marizano doing a two stop like Ted and Jason, but he's a bit further back. Harley we haven't seen in a while, down in 6th. JP still going in 7th. Gorsh in 9th. And Gorsh in 8th. Joe in 9th. And that is it. We've only got 9 drivers left here in Singapore for tonight's race.
Now, but remain doesn't go for me.
He may try it for the second DRS zone here in Singapore. Almost tries it before the turn. But I can see Ted should be able to get past RBZ pretty easily here. But will RBZ go defensive? RBZ holds the outside line, and he's letting Ted pass pretty easily, but he's still holding the line, and that is Ted still behind. RBZ has the inside line. Does he go a bit wide? No, he keeps it nice and tidy through there, and RBZ, this is hampering Ted's progress here, Rodsters. He's really not being able to get past RBZ here, but will he try and move before? No, he won't, and he's going to have to wait. It's sort of single file through this sector of the track. RBZ almost losing the back end there on those soft tyres. But Ted really pushing to get past. He locks up behind RBZ. But Ted is really have to get a move on if he wants to get anything on Jason, because he's second up to JD. Really got to get a move on.
Yeah, I think it's surprising me. I think Ted's being a bit, I don't want to say overly cautious, but I think he could be a bit more aggressive, especially in the braking, as he's just picked up a corner cutting penalty there. But I think for a make or break pass like this, then it could be going a bit more aggressive on the brakes, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seemed he had 2 chances to make the move on both straights. Jason does a new faster lap, but Jason also doesn't have a penalty, so Ted's going to have to get some work done if he wants to get past Jason at the end. But will he make a move towards turn 1? He stays behind RBZ there. Okay, he's not being I think, like you said, he's been very cautious here, but he's losing a lot of time to Jason. Will we see a move from Ted on the second DRS detection zone? JP gets a 3-second penalty. Ted, he does 1.4 seconds now. Ted moved to the inside lane. RBZ puts his car in the middle. RBZ still hanging it around the outside. But does Ted make the move? He's still there, though. Jeez. Oh, with a bit of contact. Oh, but they still both make... Oh, no! Oh, it's ended in tears. It is ended in tears. And is that damage? Who is this Ted of damage? That is the key question here. Ted, half a front wing. RBZ. Is that... RBZ think he's okay. But Ted... Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Ted... I think they just banged wheels and maybe sidepod glitch. I don't really know, but... Or desyncing maybe, but... Ted... It's gone from bad to worse here, Redsters.
It's absolutely nightmare for Ted. Jason, I don't know if he knows all of that there in the first place, but he'll be counting his lucky stars. But that was really unfortunate for Ted there. So they both ran out of room, and that was going to be very costly for the Toronto driver.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ted, half front wing, and he's to change that front wing. The other way, it's going to be super difficult to get round here. Okay. I retract my statement and Ted's staying out for another lap. Okay, RBZ should be able to get him pretty easily if he's only got half a front wing. Smithson is catching slightly due to the racing they had together. Maranzano is still a little bit further back, and there's a big gap then to Harley back in 6th place, JP in 7th, Gorsh in 8th, Joe still in 9th, and that's all we got. Matty Bolton is disconnected. Or they actually left, not 100% on that. But GGGVVV, I'm not trying to say all those G's in the Twitch chat, but what happened to Ted? Ted broke his front wing. If you missed that, he had contact with RBZ, but he lost out. Tried to do the overcut on Jason, it didn't work. For as Joe is retired.
I think he's paused and retired. He's obviously not a very good race, missing front wing once again.
He's given up.
Despite a very good start, it's not ended very well for Joe. No,
it hasn't there for Joe. Still, he could have been on for a good haul of points, though. You know, it all counts towards the end of the championship. So, unfortunately for Joe, so we're down to 8 runners here in Singapore. And we're not even halfway. Well, almost about halfway now, aren't we? 15 out of 31 laps here in Singapore. It's been an exciting one so far. But if you want to see more F1 racing this evening, the PS4 stream starts at 8:30. So go and check that out. That would be brilliant. I can't remember who is actually on the stream. But go check that out. It will be on Twitch as well. But here in Singapore for Xbox, RBZ, within a second of Ted. Ted's gone for another lap, actually. Bothered to wing. Here, so...
Yeah, interestingly, Ted, he was actually catching Jason on that lap until the last 2 corners, which I think that front wing's really hurting him there, because he lost almost a second. But I think with RBZ, it could be that case we were mentioning earlier about when it's a sort of a darkish green and doesn't appear to have lost any front wing, but you can really feel it in the car. But yeah, Ted obviously feeling some of the effects of the damage, so... 2 very battered cars here, battling for position.
Yeah, it's it's been sort of a lot of contact here in Singapore. Not the cleanest of racing, I guess, here in Singapore. We try and promote as much as clean racing, but sometimes league racing things like this happen. As you can see by Ted, and also the start was a crazy one. So if you haven't watched that, check it out after. Once the stream will be on YouTube after it's on the SRL channel, so go subscribe there to see all the action. I'm sure all the drivers will be on it after the race to see how well they did. But RBZ now is within a second of Ted here in Singapore, as they just come on the final couple of bends to start lap 17. So over halfway now. And we're trying to make it exciting as we can, Rodsters, but we're struggling a little bit because there's everyone seems to be a bit spaced out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Smithson will be hoping now he can try and get a podium. I think he's been kind of just edging away at the gap between these two out in front. As I say this, he's just managed to pick up the penalty on.
He shouldn't have said anything.
But, he will be hoping now that he could potentially get a podium out of this race, which I think if you would have said that to him going into this race, he would have absolutely bitten your hand off with that.
Yeah, I think they definitely would have. Yeah, so Smithson on the charge as well. And if it stays like this, Rod says this is your podium prediction. So mine's a bit off with Maranzano down in 5th. So and I also said Ted would win. So I may have cursed quite a few of the drivers this evening. Oops, I seem to do that a lot. I'm just unlucky, I think, when I commentate and pick.
Just chance, unfortunately.
Yeah, yellow flags in sector 1.
Gorsh
is round. Has he got damage? I think that may be damage from.
Right.
I think that was from a previous spin he had earlier on.
Yeah.
For the Renault driver. But as the races sort of die down, guys, if you want to let us know what you want us to talk about, anything interesting relating to F1, hopefully not something completely random, let us know in the chat so we can keep you entertained this evening. Over halfway here in Singapore. Jason leading with Ted in 2nd. RBZ is very close actually to the back of Feisty Ted.
Yeah, I've just been watching this battle. RBZ.
Rod seemed to leave the session. Is he still in our party chat? He is. I'm connecting apparently. Okay. Right. Can you still hear me in the chat? Can you just let me know quickly? It says Rod has left the session. That's not ideal here. Those who are in the chat, can you just let me know if you can still hear me, please? Otherwise, well. Okay, right, you can still hear me. Thank you, Bosley. Rogers, you are back. Fantastic. Not to worry. Right, can you get back into the race by any chance, or shall I invite you? Okay, so if you can commentate on the racing, I'll get you back into the action. RBZ and Ted are very close at the moment. Oh no, wait, you can't commentate because you can't see what's going on, can you?
I can get it on my phone, but it might be a little bit delayed.
Okay, I'll try and get you in. Right, I'm trying to figure out how I do this again. Right, how do I do this? I've done it in the past.
I'll just try and find another way.
Any tips to how I'm trying to think. I've done it before. Apologies for this, guys. It's the game being a bit of a pain. I've invite. How do I do it? You may need to. No. I think you may need to figure out another way. Unfortunately, Rod says I'm not 100%.
Alright, well, you get back into the action and I'll
okay.
Try and find another way.
Okay, as Ted gets a 3-second party. 3-second party, 3-second penalty. I do apologise. Sorry, just double check something quickly. Where are? Right, okay, right, we're all sorted. So, RBZ still on the back of Ted. The closest he's been so far for RBZ, so we could see a move from the Williams driver. He could also have damage to that front wing. Oh, very close as they come round towards the second DRS zone. Will we see a move from RBZ in the Williams car as they come towards the start of Sector 2? RBZ just lost time there. He does have DRS, so I'm not really sure what RBZ is playing at there. Ah, I see. Bosley, you just told me how to do it. Right, that would be quite... Okay, right. So I go party, invite more. Ah, invite to game. Ah, I've got it. Ah, I see. I got it. Right, Rod says I think I've got it now. There you go. Have you got that? Hopefully Rogers has that. So thank you, Bosley, for that. That is very handy. So continue with the race. Jason with 11 laps to go. Jason in the lead. So with Ted 11.3 seconds behind. RBZ in third. Smithson not really catching RBZ. We thought we'd see Smithson do a move. Well, get one near RBZ unless he has penalties. We'll double check that soon if he's got any penalties. Now Marzano back in fifth. He's catching Smithson, so that is a battle to keep an eye on. So John, lots changed actually. John, Ted and RBZ had contact as Ted dropped back after messing up his pit stop. Yellow flag in sector 1. Not sure who that is for. Can't seem to see who that's for. But yeah, the Ted messed up his pit, and then he had contact with RBZ, and he's got half a front wing, as you can see on screen now. And RBZ can't seem to get past him at the moment. As I say that, he's probably down the inside. This is where the tears happened last time, but RBZ keeps the lead for now. RBZ struggling a little bit. He can't seem to get past Ted. It's difficult. I know it's difficult to overtake in Singapore, but RBZ can't seem to do it. Rod says, are you back in the game? Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I'm back.
Lovely.
Finally.
Can you include your party chat, just in case you haven't done that yet?
Apologies for that.
No, I was double checking. I'm not sure you have. People haven't said in the chat yet. But JP is in the pit from Ultrasofts. Looks like for the McLaren driver. So he is the current last man on track. 8 drivers left here.
Sorry, my match has been playing up.
Cool. Not to worry. Yeah, I think John, I got to agree with you there. I think it's tired. I think Ted's. Rod says you've been out for a little bit, but John saying in the chat that Ted's tyres must be absolutely knackered now because of the lack of front wing. As RBZ could potentially make a move, he goes to the outside. Will he pop it down the inside? Doesn't look like. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with RBZ. He just can't seem to get past Ted.
I think it's partly down to the nature of the track, but essentially also the tyres as well. Obviously, being on a slower tyre could really be hurting RBZ in this battle.
Yeah, that is very true. As RBZ, he pops towards the inside line, brakes late. Oh, it looks like Ted later on the brakes. Ted a bit more confident with his... Oh, Jesus! Straight into the back of Ted there. The Williams driver almost breaking his front wing there at the start, in sector 2 there as they come towards the old Singapore sling. No more, unfortunately, which I think was a great addition to the track. I don't really know why they removed it. I think maybe because all the cars were breaking after they bounced over it. I think Paul DeResta or Adrian Sutil in a Force India got some big air over those curbs a while ago.
I remember the first year they had it down here as well. Raikkonen got caught out on those corners. But I agree on this one. I think they gave the circuit some character, which was as RBZ scrapes the wall coming towards the grandstand section. Yeah,
RBZ. I don't know. I think mainly to do with that compound red. At the moment, but he's close. Ted goes offensive for the first time. Can he go around the outside? Not really a place to make a move. He cuts that massively. Maybe a warning for that cutting turn 2. But he's lost a little bit of time there to Ted now 6/10. But Maranzano is one to keep an eye on. Rodsters. He's now gained, the last couple of laps, he's gained about 2 seconds on Smithson. So both with full front wings, it looks like. But Maranzano, he is on the quick tyre and most likely will have to pit again. I don't know, maybe he can get him to the end, but he's going to have some sort of magic to manage to get those to the end.
Yeah, I think Smithson's a good one to watch out for, because while Maranzano's been catching up on him, he's actually been catching up on Ted. So I think if they end up battling for a few more laps, he could really be brought into play.
Yeah, potentially we could have a four-way fight for P2, which would be a great addition to this race. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it in the chat. I know it hasn't been the most exciting race. We've tried our best to make it exciting here in Singapore. But if you've bored and you haven't got anything else to do tonight, don't forget to check out the PS4 stream, which is happening at 8:30, so 24 minutes until that happens. So go check that out afterward. That'd be great for those guys to get some support for the PS4 League. And I sort of have a slight interest in that because I've got a good friend who is battling for the championship, Ash Richardson F1, if anybody knows him.
I speak on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, the most Codemaster's most hated person, as he's also known as on Twitter. I should have that as his new name, is a little on his banner. That's what he should have. I'd recommend that to him. Yeah, I don't think he'll be getting any free copies in the post anytime soon of F1 in the near future, at least. But RBZ, he's just struggling to get traction out of that final corner, Rodsters, and he can't seem to get. He's very close to the inside line. But he does a switchback, and RBZ down the inside, late on the brakes, and now sort of Ted in the wall. Ted still. Oh, okay, he's letting him past.
Yeah. I think Ted might have just picked up even more damage, but Smithson after that incident is only 1.2 seconds behind Ted.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how maybe it's just RBZ struggling to overtake. More maybe the tyres will compare when Smithson tries to make the move on Ted if he gets the chance. With 7 laps to go, Hardy gets a penalty, but it'd be interesting to see how Smithson does. Maranzano isn't too far back, you can see them in the distance, so potentially we could have a good battle the last 7 laps. Jason with a huge lead here in the Haas, 16.5 seconds. So Jason on I think Jason just played it cool. Don't think track on the calendar. I think he's just kept up the barrier. His pit stop worked, and he's had luck on his side, Rodsters.
I think that's been the story of Jason's season, really. You only get a 100-point lead in the championship by being incredibly consistent at every track of the season. I think this has basically been Jason's season in a race.
Yeah, I think Jason may be one of the most consistent people I know at the F1 game. He's just incredible. He won in ULC on Tuesday night, and that was just an incredible drive from him then. And as you said, we've seen him all season being fantastic, just being super consistent. As Smithson right on the back of Ted here, we'll keep an eye on that. See if he struggles as well to get past Ted. RBZ has got a 1.5 second gap already. That's down to 1.3. But I think Jason and Ted, especially Jason, I think he just managed to get the soft tyres to go as long as he wants to. I don't know, he could pit right at the end, but I'd say just hold out and see how far he can go on the super softs now.
Yeah, I think if they were planning to pit, we'd probably see them in by now. Be only 6 laps from the end, so I think that's what these guys will be doing. It'd be interesting to see if they can make them last, especially Ted, who really struggled towards the end of his ultra soft season.
Yeah, Ted seemed to go really hard on his ultras, and it's going to be even worse for those front tyres with half a front wing. So he's really struggling for grip here. Then again, Smithson's also struggling for grip because he seems to be drifting on every single corner here in Singapore. Maranzano now almost within 2 seconds of Smithson. We'll keep an eye on the Smithson Ted battle. Lap 26 of 31. We're coming towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix here. Hopefully you guys have stuck it out. It's been a pretty decent race. Ted goes to the inside line. It's been compromised all over of Ted. I wonder if we'll see team orders from Ted and Maranzano if he catches up. I think they've done team orders in the past in SRL.
It
but
surprised me.
Yeah, I don't think you could hold up his teammate. If you can get him on the podium, I think Toro Rosso are miles ahead in the constructors as well. Smithson, does he pop up the inside? No, doesn't leave it late. But I believe Toro Rosso are miles ahead in the constructors. Let's double check that constructors table. If it loads me, yeah, Toro Rosso miles ahead.
Yeah, I think Ted on that last DRS straight got incredibly lucky. I think he got DRS from Matty Bolton actually, which allowed him
the ghost car.
Remain ahead for one more lap. Luckily for Ted, not so lucky for Smithson. But yeah, Maranzano only 1.5 seconds now, or just over 1.5 seconds behind Smithson and the Mercedes. So he's really getting to batteries. Yeah,
potentially Ted maybe trying to hold up Smithson now to back him up to Maranzano so he can make a move and then could get Maranzano on the podium potentially. But we saw that in ULC where Sam LFC F1 and Jason squeezing Danny in ULC on Tuesday night, if you watched that, guys. But John saying Ted Ted should have pitted when he had damage. I think we agree with that. I think Ted should have come in when that damage happened. He stayed out, and Ted still got the podium. If he can defend for another 4 laps, he's got the podium in the bag, and it'll be a great drive. Come on, Ted is sweating buckets right now with half a front wing around Singapore with Smithson right on his backside. Smithson, he's starting lap 27 in the second DRS, and a little bit too far back actually. He dropped off slightly, so keep an eye on Maranzano. Maranzano is the key one here, catching these two. RBZ has just got away now. I think RBZ sort of nailed P2 unless he bins it, but hopefully we don't see more crashes here. Fingers crossed, touch wood, but this is league race and anything can happen.
I think Smithson's issue at the moment is his exits haven't been the best. He's having a lot of oversteer on the exits, which I think is obviously compromising him a little bit. I think if he can sort of neaten those up, as he locks up quite badly going to the hairpin after the bridge. But yeah, I think if he can sort out those exits, he will have a really good run at third. But RBZ, it seems to make a mistake because Ted's now less than a second behind RBZ in the Williams. Yeah, he's got a half front wing.
Oh dear. RBZ is on the same terms as Ted. It's on the same side as well for RBZ. So RBZ and Ted are on equal terms now. Could we see Ted out of nowhere getting back in a second? Smithson's really struggling, drifting everywhere. Maranzano's coming into play. We have and Maranzano in the wall as well. We could see a tasty end to this. Right, 3-way fight for second place then. Here we go. What do we say in the chat? Who's going to get it? RBZ, Ted or Smithson? Let us know.
There's a little bit of contact going through the first couple of corners between Ted and the rear of RBZ. This is going to end in tears, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. Will we see some moves on the second DRS straight? The Royal Ted has already gone for the inside line. Can RBZ stick it? RBZ around, have to go defensive here. Will Smithson make any moves up? RBZ still has the inside line. Can Ted go around the outside? Great move from Ted. And gee, Ted, I'm just thinking as well, Rod says, Ted is on the softer compound. Those tyres must be falling off the cliff now.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff from Ted. Nursing not only broken front wing but also softer compounded tyres, and to have the composure to get back up into second place after sure he would have been thinking it would have been he either lost it. Great stuff there from the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, great job. And now Ted's broken the DRS on RBZ. Smithson is weaving behind RBZ. I'm not quite sure what that means. There. I have seen other people do it in the past for weaving behind other drivers. I think maybe they're referencing bad driving maybe or something like that. But Maranzano is right on the back of Smithson as he gets a penalty. Of course, these guys have penalties. Ted has got a penalty as well. So penalties could ruin all our fun here, Hudson, so it could mix it up completely.
I think finally your prediction of Maranzano is coming into play.
It could work.
Staring at the podium, I'm praying the podium sort of stays where it is, and that was my prediction. But RBZ from incredibly wide, coming out of the last corner, and Smithson getting close, but he's just not there at the minute.
Yeah, Smithson struggling in what with the rise just the place and not really getting any. Oh, he's gone wide round there as well, and that's going to give a chance to Maranzano. But of course, that is cancelled out by RBZ's DRS. So don't think Maranzano's going to be able to make the move. Oh, actually, who's later on the brakes? Oh, geez, Smithson very close to the back. Jeez, he's balls to the wall here in Singapore with 3 laps to go, well, 2.5 laps to go. Smithson right on the back of RBZ. Ted's got 3 seconds on RBZ now. Jeez, Ted has just gone away since.
Fantastic.
It's wow, great job from Ted. Great recovery drive from the Toro Rosso driver, but RBZ really struggling. Oh, and Smithson very sideways. Will Maranzano make a move after come off the bridge? Not the best place to make a move, but this is a tantalising battle here, brothers, and it could be great, or it could all end in tears as well.
Yeah, I think Smithson's got a bit of damage onto the front wing. I'm not entirely sure when he picked that up, but again, that will be hurting him. Someone's actually out at the minute with a completely healthy car. As Smithson's late on the brakes again. But yeah, it's just very intense stuff.
I think Smithson is not predicting RBZ's braking points very well, because he seems to be locking up quite a bit. Because RBZ braking slightly early due to that front wing damage on the Williams car as they start lap number 30. 2 laps to go here in Singapore. It's still, wow, what a great ending to, we got a Renault in the background. I think that's Gorsh, but he is a lap down on these guys. But Smithson still close to the back of RBZ. The man, slightly front wing damage, slight bit of front wing damage, I do apologise, on the Mercedes car. Maranzano, the only man in this battle with a full front wing. Will we see a Toro Rosso 2 and 3 on the podium? We'll have to wait and see, but Smithson very close to the back of RBZ. RBZ put the car in the middle. Smithson dives it down the inside. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. RBZ is wide, and Smithson moves up 3rd place, but RBZ still has the inside line, but loses that place, and that is Smithson up into 3rd place. But Smithson, I believe, has about 6 seconds worth of penalties, so this may be all for nothing, Rudsters, and he could be back in 5th place.
Yeah, I think the key here is if Maranzano can get past RBZ or not, because as we've seen from Ted and when Ted got past, RBZ is really holding these guys up. As Maranzano sort of half lunges going into the hairpin, but yeah, it still could be there for Smithson if Gorsh actually gets past Maranzano, but
almost gets involved there.
but yeah, Smithson could still have a shot at this if RBZ really holds up Maranzano.
Yeah, he's going to have to really hold him up quite a bit if he's going to... Oh, RBZ's gone deep into the tunnel, and he's lost the place. Maranzano moves up to 4th place.
I think that's good for Maranzano, so as long as he can keep it on the track as well from RBZ.
Not the best racing from Gorsh there. I'm sure RBZ doesn't really want that in his face, and he's trying to keep up with Maranzano there, but yeah, where's Jason on the lap? Jason's going, well, Jason's halfway through Sector 2 already. Jeez, Jason's got a massive lead here. Since Ted got past RBZ, he's got 7 seconds on Smithson, who of course got past RBZ, but yeah, will we see a move from Maranzano potentially? I think it's a bit too late for Maranzano to get that place, but I think Maranzano may get it just because of the penalty Smithson's got.
Yeah, I doubt Maranzano will be aware of Smithson's penalty, so he could very well have a look at him going into the last few corners, but I think yeah, as long as he keeps it safe, he should have 3rd place in the bag.
Yeah, I think my prediction of Maranzano on the podium might come true, like he said a bit earlier, out of nowhere. Maranzano on here, still about half a lap, but Jason comes round the last 2 bends. Luck has been on his side this evening. He's been consistent yet again here in SRL, and Jason wins the Singapore Grand Prix, one of the longest races on the calendar. Congratulations to you, Jason. We will talk to you in a little bit. But Jason in that car, very happy. Ted, a little bit further back, but yeah, another dominant drive from Jason there, Roadsters.
Yeah, I think just by virtue of the fact he managed to stay out of contact, stay away from everyone, stay out of the wall, ensure that he managed to pick up what turned out to be a very comfortable win.
Yep, and there we go. And gorgeous gorgeous binder on the final, on the start-finish line. RBZ comes across the line to finish in 5th, but yep, as Smithson had penalties, Maranzano takes 3rd place. So if I just reshuffle my podium, I got it right. You got two out of 3.
I got 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I got
the right order as well.
Yeah, I got 1 out of 3. Unfortunately, Jason and Ted, if you could swap places, that would be fantastic. But what else we got? JP down in 6th place. He'll get a good haul of points just by finishing today. Gorsh has already finished. He's struck and car on the start-finish line, but we'll stay on board with JP. I seem to get my names mixed up this evening, but yeah, JP in the bright orange McLaren, coming around the final couple of bends to finish here in Singapore.
Yeah.
SRL F1.
I was going to say, Gorsh's car reminds me a little bit of when Hayley over line and broke down in that sort of area.
Oh, it wasn't the car, didn't it go on fire as well?
Yeah, it caught fire in 2010,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, Caterham, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a long time ago. 7 years ago. Jeez. Long time ago. Time flies, eh?
Yeah. I'll get the drivers and stuff.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah, John, you are right. You did. I think you did get it right from what I can remember. Let's just scroll up quickly and see if you got it. What did we say for predictions earlier on? Where are we? No, John, you were John, you were wrong. Someone was right. Bosley, you were almost right. It's the wrong way around. So yeah, no one getting it perfectly right this evening. But here is the final table. Jason wins it with Ted in 2nd, Maranzano 3rd, Smithson in 4th, RBZ in 5th, JP 6th. That's Gorsh in 7th, and who is the last person? It was JP in 8th. No, sorry. No, sorry. Gorsh was the last person. Yeah, we only had 7 drives, didn't we? Yeah, we didn't have many drives finishing there. But we've got the drivers in to the comms box. And, guys, if you can just include your order, we can get started. Wow, quiet race, really. After the pit stop phase, you had a bit of a quiet race, but you made the undercut work an absolute treat.
Yeah, it was a quiet race after that. Yeah, Ted did a really good quality lap. That was very unbelievable pace, to be honest. And then the first stint, we sort of doing the same lap times, but then towards the end, he started sliding around quite a lot on his tyres. I thought the lap I did, he was going to come in, but he did. And then obviously I got something like 3 or 4 second undercut with the new super softs, and that's pretty much it from there. I think they had an incident as well, which obviously dropped them back a lot. But yeah, not much else to say, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet race for yourself. I think you won by 22 seconds. But yeah, congratulations on another win here in SRL. Your dominance continues in this championship, and how the next couple of races go. Rodsters, do you want to take it away with Ted?
Yep. So Ted, you had unbelievable race. Really, it was incredibly eventful. At one point, it looked like you might win, and at one point, it looked like you were going to fall off the podium. But in the end, you finished up in 2nd. So just tell us about your race and how it went.
Obviously, my quality was pretty decent. There was probably about 2 attempts in the middle sector. That was probably about it. My first and last sector were pretty much perfect. And obviously, I had a decent start on the race. Towards the end of the ultra softs, I did struggle on them, sliding back a bit, but I knew if I pitted on like lap 11 or something, I could go easy to the end on the super softs. And obviously, Jason pitted a lap before, and that was pretty much crucial. And then I come out behind when I pit, I come out behind RBZ and alongside him around the corner, and I just got shoved in the wall. So that was pretty much my race.
Yeah,
There's nothing much more to say really. Like, it's just common losing your wing in races these days. So
It's,
I can't remember when I finished a race with a 4 wing, to be honest.
So would you say you think it was RBZ's fault for the incident?
I don't know. Obviously, where it happened, it's like, I'd have to see us on board. I did record it from my point of view, but nothing I could have done about it. To be honest, I was on a quicker tyre. In a way, I should have just let me through because I would have been on his arse the whole race. So, I don't know.
Well, that's fair enough. But actually, it was a really good sort of almost recovery drive there for keeping that second place. So well done.
I think he had really bad wing damage at the end, so I thought like, when he overtook me, sort of put me off, and I thought, sod it, you can have it. And then, like, I don't really like Singapore. I did have a decent pace, but driving it with a damaged wing is just effort, to be honest. You don't want to do it.
Well, congratulations anyways. Chick, would you like to take it away with third place interview?
Yeah, Maranzano, you seem to be on the podium yet again when I commentate. It seems to be a reoccurring thing. You had a bit of a quiet race, really, until the very end.
You've seen the final laps.
Yeah.
Yours is audio gone.
Sorry,
That was the most awkward freaking silence I think I've been in. I thought my pipe fucking disconnected or some shit.
I felt the same shit. You back yet?
Sorry.
Should I just answer?
Sorry. I'm back. Yeah, sorry, controller died. Of all things to do in the commentary box. Just talk us through the race. Really, it wasn't the most exciting for yourself until the very last bit.
I mean, I had absolutely no pace whatsoever. I think I'm gonna go with no practice excuse for tonight. To be honest, I'm reaching like tier limitless levels of bitterness towards this game. It's just, I mean, I can't be bothered anymore. And I mean, if you've seen the final laps, then I mean, the driving standards. It's just, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm innocent in this league, but this was just on another level again. RBZ is like a mobile chicane in the final few laps. It's just, I can't even say anything about it. Just, I mean, I lucked into a podium, you know, so I guess I'm happy with that. But pace-wise, it wasn't very impressive.
Yeah, I guess it was. I guess it didn't help that there were the lack of drivers here this evening, and also the lack of drivers actually finishing the race. But you know, still on the podium, so still a good result for yourself, and you seem to continue the trend of me commentating and you on the podium in almost every single league these days. So, well, congratulations to yourself.
It's a perfect match, isn't it?
It is, yeah, match made in heaven. But back to Jason, looking towards Malaysia next week. A lot of people not a fan of Malaysia. How are you? How do you find Malaysia on the F1 games?
I quite like it. The middle set is going to be really good in these 2017 cars, and my results there have been sort of average, I guess. So I think I can actually wrap up the title there. I'm not 100% sure how I could, but hopefully that can happen.
Okay, well, I'll get all the different ways you can and or can't win the championship, and see how Ted can get it back and win back the championship in the final round, in the final
that's
corner.
a long shot, mate.
We'll see. I'll work it all out mathematically.
We need front wing damage freaking turned off if that wants to happen.
We'll do that. We'll have no damage next race. And we'll see
Sounds
how it
good
goes.
to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Well, congratulations to the podium this evening, Jason, Ted, and Maranzano. I want to thank everybody for watching in the Twitch stream, and thank you to Rusters for filling for Ringrose. We had a great commentary job this evening, and we shall see you next week for round number 15 in Malaysia, and I'm sure that'll be as exciting as this evening.